Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
Wait, no, sorry, I'm not married to that.
That was really stupid.
Let's try this one again.
Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And this is Not Married to This.
Okay, Joe, my show's about to start. Wait, are you ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
I have a surprise for you to intro. You know how I love my intros. Ready?
I don't even know what's about to happen, yeah.
Do you know what song this is?
Yeah, the OC. How is this relevant to what we're doing? I guess we're in California.
We're in California.
I like that. That was a very creative intro, Serena.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. I was thinking about that on the way here. Honestly,
I don't know if we have the rights to use that song, though.
I don't think they're going to come for us.
I don't think so either.
The OC's been off air for a long time.
Also, I think, especially on YouTube, I think it's like how long you play it. So hopefully that was just in a couple seconds.
Yeah, hopefully they don't sue us. I was just trying to set the mood. Guys, we're in LA. We're in California.
You're excited about that, huh? We went to Breadhead yesterday. If you've never been,
oh, yeah.
Their sandwiches are so good.
I love sandwiches.
They're on focaccia bread that's super thin and crispy. Like, okay, I'm Italian. I don't have focaccia all the time, but I do.
Totally.
I do think it's important if you're going to make a sandwich on focaccia bread that it has to be thin and crispy, because I don't want a sandwich with doughy bread.
I don't really like eating that much on travel days. I'm more of a snacker, so I was so hungry when we got to that restaurant because I didn't eat any of the food on the plane. But you did, and you do this every single time where you get the meal and then you take 2 bites and you're like, ugh, disgusting. I hate it. You do it on every single flight, and then you don't eat it. I don't even know why you get the food.
I know. Well, because I'm always like, maybe I'll be surprised when it comes. I've had decent meals on planes. Something I'm also noticing when I'm getting the meal is the silverware is so cold. Like,
what?
This is like the third meal I had in a row. Like when I had Shake Shack on Delta too. This is the third meal that I've had in a row on a plane where the silverware comes and it's like it was sitting in a freezer and it's so cold.
Does that like kill bacteria or something?
Maybe, which I would actually, then I hope they keep doing it. But it does throw off the meal because then like I had steak on the way here, it was really gross. And it came with like fries that were like mushy,
Sure,
and then
an
ice cold fork. It was not a great meal.
I never really get the food on planes, but I was watching Bridgerton and I took out my headphones to tell the guy like, oh, no, thank you, when he came around with dessert. And then I leaned over because you were sitting behind me again. We haven't been sitting next to each other on planes, to wait to see you get your ice cream sundae, because on United they do like the custom ice cream sundaes, and I was like, oh, Joe's about to be so happy. He's about to go ham on this ice cream sundae, and you didn't get it, and I was shocked.
Nuh-uh.
I was so excited to like peek over my chair and catch you eating your ice cream sundae.
I have cut down tremendously on eating ice cream.
There was a period of time that Joe was ordering Pinkberry delivery like 5 times
Well, that's
a
not
week.
ice cream. That's frozen yogurt.
You were eating Pinkberry delivery like every single night.
That is untrue.
It's not untrue.
That is so
it's a
untrue.
slight exaggeration, but
is,
it's not untrue.
I ate Pinkberry maybe once every 2 weeks.
No, Joe. Don't even. You were eating Pinkberry like a maniac. Every night. Knock, knock, knock on the door. Oh, who is it? Your little tart vanilla with the almonds and the choco chips.
And honestly, if you didn't have a nut allergy, I would have gotten hazelnut.
Well, that's nice of you, actually, to not get it. Do you like our hotel that we're staying at? I know that's always the most important part of a trip for you, is if it's a nice hotel or not.
Well, we go back and forth on this, but don't you agree? Like, what would you rather? I know you asked me a question. Now I'm going to ask you a question instead.
Okay. Reverso uno. Uno reverso.
What would you rather have? Would you rather spend money on first class seats or a bougie hotel?
A bougie hotel.
Agree.
Yeah.
100%.
We're aligned.
Our hotel, I feel like it was a little oversold in the photos.
The marketing was 10 out of 10 because it's a really nice hotel, but it definitely looked more luxurious. Like they hit those photos with a filter, no doubt.
And this hotel's nice, but it does seem like you're going to a 5-star luxury hotel, and it is to it in a sense, but Yeah.
I'm excited to stay in Santa Monica, though, because I am a water sign. I'm a Scorpio, so I love being by the water. I love looking at a body of water. And we usually stay in West Hollywood. So it's nice to stay in a different area.
I've said this to you, but since your mom was born on the West Coast.
You say this all the time. It's not science, but go off.
I think it is.
Okay.
Since your mom was born on the West Coast, I think that your body acclimates to its real temperature and where it should be when you are on the West Coast. Like, I think everything.
You think genetically I am programmed to be more agreeable to West Coast weather?
I do. I think it's passed down in your genes.
That's insane.
I think it's insane that you don't think that's a possibility.
In what world? I mean, do you think like I look and seem better on the West Coast?
I think my parents were born in Chicago, and I think...
I thought you were going to say Italy for a second.
No, my parents were born in Chicago, and I think there is a survival gene that is passed into me where I can handle the weather and the seasons.
You know, my dad is from the East Coast, though, and I was also born in Toronto.
Yes, but you have a lot of similarities to your mom.
That's true. Well, the funny thing is I actually don't like being on the West Coast nearly as much as the East Coast.
Yeah, but you always say your hair and your skin feels a lot better.
It does.
Yeah.
My skin, especially my eczema for the Canadian/US pronunciation, is usually better on the West Coast. The thing is Joe would move to LA. He loves it out here.
I lived out here.
I know.
For 2 years.
But
I would
then-
move out here.
Yeah.
I would. I do. I think there's something like about just beautiful weather every day.
LA just doesn't speak to my soul.
What does?
New York.
Okay.
In Toronto.
Yeah.
Moving on. Are you still watching that dinosaur documentary?
I'm through episode 1.5.
Do you like
and
it?
I think there's I think it's interesting when the first episode, it's on Netflix. The first episode, Morgan Freeman's the narrator, and he's like,
I love that. I didn't know that.
he's like the 1,000,000-year rainstorm. Like, it rained on this earth for 1,000,000 years. And then I start thinking, I'm like, we really are just a blip of, like, we just don't matter. Like it's like, oh, like we just don't fucking matter. We're here for 100 years. This world's been around for millions. Like, what are we? We're nothing.
You hear, guys? You're nothing. You don't matter.
I mean, realistically, when you zoom out, we really don't.
I walked in the other night to Joe watching it. I was watching something else in the other room, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow, like those dinosaurs look crazy. And he goes, yeah, but like it's not real.
That was a joke.
Were you joking?
I was fucking with you.
I thought you were
Yeah.
dead serious. I was like, yeah, I know they're not real,
Yeah,
Joe.
no.
I know it's CGI.
I was fucking with you.
Oh, you sounded so serious. I was like, I can't believe that you would really think that. Like, I know that.
But when you hear, like, this world's been around for so long, are you like, what are we doing? You know, like, just
No.
podcasting, reality TV? Like, what are we doing right now?
No.
Okay.
Life is what you make it, so let's make it rock, you know?
All right. I like that.
That's a Hannah Montana quote.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. It's like, let's make it rock. You,
Did that fire you up?
I liked it.
I
Yeah.
know,
I was like,
right?
I get it.
You would have been a Hannah Montana fan.
I'm a Miley Cyrus fan, but I never watched Hannah Montana.
Oh my gosh.
And nor I don't think I probably should. I don't think at this point. I think if I was like, oh, I'm a huge Hannah Montana
Well,
fan,
yeah, now
you would
I'm-
probably question me.
I would, but I more meant like if you were a kid when it came out. Like
Yeah.
if you're my age when
Well,
it came
I
out.
wasn't.
No, you were an adult, actually. That's a whole other conversation. But no, it was incredible. It was like Miley Cyrus living a double life as Hannah Montana. She puts on a wig, normal girl by day, pop star by night. And then she did a movie that was like the closing era of Hannah Montana, where she was like, she took off her wig and was like, it's me, Miley. Like, it's been me the whole time. And then that was essentially like the death of Hannah Montana, which is why it's so iconic that they just did this reunion special and she's back in that blonde wig.
Wait, nobody knew it was Miley Cyrus?
Well, we knew as the audience, but like that was the story of the show. And then the movie was like the spin-off of the show, like similar to how Peaky Blinders did the show, and then they just came out with a movie kind of like closing that chapter.
Wow, this is our age gap really in full
swing.
Full swing. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm looking for. Because I showed you a clip this morning of
Charlie Sheen
walking out to Wild Thing.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've never even heard of that.
Oh, iconic. Charlie Sheen was a massive movie star.
Charlie Sheen was introduced to me through 2.5 Men.
That, yes.
So I kind of missed his movie era.
His Netflix documentary he tells the craziest story at the beginning of that.
If there's ever a show with a bunch of divorcees on it, Denise Richards could be on it because she's divorced from Charlie Sheen, isn't she?
Yeah, well, that's what I think. Isn't that what they're going to do instead of Real Housewives? Divorcees?
I don't think it's a show in the making. I just think The Cut put out an article being like, being a divorcee is hot now. Like, it's the new Housewives are out, divorcees are in. Bravo has a bunch of like iconic women who have been divorced or are getting divorced. I feel like it's on the same tone of like having a boyfriend is lame, which was another article that came out.
I think reality TV, when you film real life married couples, it always ends up, it's either boring or it's dark and depressing. Because people love watching people hook up and date. And I think that's why I think the divorcee show would actually be a great idea and be uplifting.
You think just having all of these like female divorcees come together and be dating?
Yeah.
I like it. I think there's something there.
Thank you.
I wouldn't be surprised if that comes to fruition. Do you think Charlie Sheen and Denise Richards? Denise Richards, do you think they had a prenup?
Yeah.
Was it big back then still? I feel like prenups have become more mainstream in the last 10, 20 years.
No, I think prenups have always been a thing. I think so.
No, I know they've always been a thing. I'm just saying, do you feel like the tone back in your day was like you get married for love?
Well, I'm not the Charlie Sheen thing. I'm not that old.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Yeah, no, that's way older than me. But prenups, what are we saying about prenups?
Do you think that Charlie Sheen and Denise Richards had a prenup?
I said no.
Believe it or not, they didn't.
Hi, guys. We are really excited about our new space because we had some help. Ashley hooked us up with incredible pieces that we love. And honestly, I feel like the space is now our own.
It was really important for us that our studio felt cozy and homey. And I feel like the Ashley pieces, which are literally getting set up right now.
In like the next room.
In the next room, bring the whole space together. I was actually sitting on one of the pieces, one of the sofas that they sent. And it's so cozy. I'm like saving it in the back of my mind for when we potentially move next year and need some new furniture.
They also sent us a piece that I kind of want to steal for our apartment.
Yeah.
Which would be great.
Don't tell anybody.
My favorite part is that I drink coffee, pop.
Unwell energy,
and you could spill or whatever, and the pieces are all durable, stain resistant, which is so important, especially if you have kids.
I totally agree, and we are so excited for you guys to see it. Thank you so much to Ashley for helping us out.
Check it out.
We were listening to Call Her Daddy yesterday. Jessi was on the episode, and she was talking. Oh my God, T. And she said that the prenup was valid, even though the witnesses didn't sign it, which I felt such a sigh of relief for her. But she was saying that even though Jordan isn't entitled to half her business, like she was worried about, there will obviously still be payouts and child support and stuff like that.
Yeah, because like there's still much more to like a prenup isn't just you're good. And I think that's my point.
Yeah, it's got to be hard to draft a piece of paper or a document saying like, this is what'll happen if we get divorced, and have it be 100% in alignment with where you are when you get divorced, which could be like 30 years down the line.
Yeah.
They were married for 5 years. She actually did say that she was married, got divorced, and then quickly ended up with Jordan.
Yeah, and then she ended up going back once more and hooking up, sleeping with him.
Yeah.
Which, if you did take half my money, I don't know Yeah.
You
Be
never
like,
say
I already paid for it.
most expensive sex of your life.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
But I'm glad it all worked out.
I mean, I don't think it worked
I don't
out.
know.
I don't think it worked out, but I think
the best of a bad situation, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, she got her business, she got some breakup sex, and she's on her way to bigger, better things.
Okay, so let's talk about prenups because it is the story. I feel like it's like one of the biggest stories these days.
Yeah.
Like Amanda and Kyle, she came out and talked about she wished she had a prenup, even though their separation / I don't know if they're getting divorced, but seems pretty. It seems amicable.
Yes.
They seem to be on good terms, and even she's like, I wanted a prenup. And we watch Mormon Wives, and Jesse's like, he is going to be so hard to divorce.
So very different situations between Amanda and Kyle, which it seems like it's amicable, but she is still advocating for people to get prenups. And Jessi and Jordan, who, gosh, that divorce is going to be messy, I would imagine.
Okay, so you and I do not have a prenup.
I know. Do you get embarrassed saying that?
No.
It doesn't make you feel embarrassed that we don't have a prenup?
Well, okay, so I kind of looked at a prenup, and I think a lot of people do, which I wouldn't have had an issue getting one. But I do kind of look at it like you're going into this with an exit strategy already, and that is not how you should be entering a marriage.
Which is kind of the old-fashioned way of thinking about it. I would say our parents' generation was like, if you're getting a prenup, you're essentially saying, I don't believe that this marriage is going to last forever. Yeah. Which we now know that like 50% of marriages end in divorce, and no one gets married thinking they're going to get divorced. So the odds are most people that don't expect to get divorced. Yeah.
But the other reason that I was like, you had a lot of paperwork that you were doing as far as just, you were Canadian. We had to, you had to apply for a visa. We had to do all that. So to add a prenup on to that just seemed like a lot of extra paperwork.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about the fact that we don't have a prenup. Do I think that we're going to get divorced? No, of course not. I love you so much. You're my best friend. I hope that we stay together forever. However, you just can't know what's going to happen 20, 30, 40 years down the line. So the reality is there's always a possibility that we get divorced. Do I see that happening, or do I hope it happens? Of course not. But that's just the reality, that it could happen.
So then why didn't you push for a prenup?
I mean, we talked about it a little bit. We had a conversation. I don't know if you remember, and you were like, I don't care as much about a prenup. If you want a prenup, we can get a prenup. And I actually thought about it a lot. I remember having like a long conversation with my dad about it as well.
Well, I had a conversation too.
With who?
With one of my friends.
Okay.
Who went through a divorce. And the information that I gathered was you have to have a ironclad prenup, like a legit, like us, because they don't always hold up in court. I think a prenup only really works if you're protecting everything you had pre-marriage. But even if you have a prenup and you get married, I don't know how much that holds up.
Where I got to was similar to you, where it was like we were going into that marriage. First of all, we spontaneously got married at the courthouse. So like a prenup was not really top of mind in those 2 weeks that we were like, let's go to the courthouse and get married. However, going into the marriage, when Joe and I met, I had $2,000 in my bank account. In that year, obviously off the show, I made a good amount of money. It was a really exciting year. However, I would argue that that money would never have been made had we not gotten together, and the success of our relationship was a major contributing factor to all these deals that I was getting. So it wasn't like I had this independent business that I was coming in with. I was coming into the marriage with no assets. I didn't have a house. I didn't have a car. I didn't have like anything like that. And from the time we met to when we got married, all the money that I had made was in some ways a reflection of the way that you and I fell in love, how we were received on the show, and the fact that we were still together. If I had come in with my own business, let's say I had my own beverage line or something, I am like 100% sure I would have been like, hey, I want to get a prenup. Like, I started this without you. I'm coming in. Or if I owned a home, I'd be like, I want to make sure that in this divorce, I get my home back, kind of thing. Like, I'm coming in with it. That would have been really important to me. However, it was interesting because business and personal is really intertwined for us, even to this day, more so than ever with this podcast now. So I remember saying to you when we started the podcast, I was like, should we be putting things in place of like, if something ever happens to us, what do we do? Like, we don't have boundaries or lines drawn in the sand in that way. So I don't know, like, sometimes do I think we were dumb to not get a prenup? Maybe a little bit. Like, do I think it was something we should have looked into more? Maybe a little bit. However, am I like quaking that we don't have one? No, I think it's going to be fine. And worst case scenario, we have a really, really terrible divorce. But if we're getting divorced, we probably already hate each other a little bit anyway.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because I don't really, when it boils down to it, like, I love money. I love it. I think it's great. Like,
we love money.
I love money.
Money.
But when it comes to my happiness, I'll spend anything. And if I want a divorce from you, there's no money I wouldn't spend to get you out of my life. So,
oh my God.
so I would, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would be so, I wouldn't even care if I was in a miserable marriage. If I was like, this marriage fucking sucks. I hate this woman. She makes me so miserable.
All right, that's enough. Thank you. That's enough.
But I'm saying, if I felt that, there's no money, I would be like, I don't care. Take all my money. I'll go back. I'll start from zero because I'll have more fun doing that.
I also think, like, you have a pettiness deep inside of you that could potentially come out if we got divorced. However,
no, I wouldn't ever do that.
Well,
that's just the truth.
First of all, yes, you are petty. But second of all, what I was going to say is in alignment with what you're saying is you were raised very traditionally. I can't see you. And look, the person you married is not the person you got divorced from. But like, just knowing your family and your dad, I can't see you trying to take money from me that you feel is like rightfully mine. It's just more what is rightfully mine if we get divorced, because we're so intertwined with one another. I do think when we have kids, we need to sit down with a lawyer and actually like look into this and kind of maybe draw some stuff up. I'm not kidding.
If
no, I'm serious, because now, who cares, right? Like, if we got divorced, it would be like our bank accounts, everything's still pretty separate. We have separate bank accounts, and we have the one joint bank account, right, that we put money into every single month. If we got divorced right now, we would just keep our separate bank accounts. We would probably dissolve this podcast. We go our separate ways. But I do think when you have kids, it gets way trickier and messier, and we are then tied to each other for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, we can look into something. I will. This is what I will say. If you were like the massive breadwinner in this relationship and we got divorced, and I was like, I'm gonna get half of hers, what she worked for, I personally wouldn't be able to look at myself in the mirror. I just wouldn't want it.
I do believe that too.
I really
wouldn't. It would be
wouldn't.
really misaligned with your values.
I would be disgusted with myself, and I would also look at it like something bad is going to happen. Like, I'm gonna end up. That's gonna me
like
taking her.
Energy?
Yeah, me taking her money is gonna end up costing me more money somehow. But yeah, I just wouldn't do it. I would not do it.
I feel like I have more prenup anxiety than you do. I feel like you're literally like, I don't even care that we don't have a prenup. I think it's going to be totally fine.
Yeah, because I know how I would handle a divorce when it comes to finances. Like, I know things change. Like, you could do like something horrible to me, or I could do something horrible to you, or like, you know, cheat on your partner and you get a divorce and you hate them. But like, no amount of hatred that I have for you is going to want me to be like, and I also want her money. Like, I just wouldn't want, I don't care.
Yeah. And I do believe that.
Yeah.
I feel like.
So you're in the better position here. I'm the one that's
great.
Like,
Give me all your money, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I guess it like makes me insecure that we don't have a prenup, because I feel like I'm going to be viewed as a woman that didn't take the steps to protect herself going into a marriage. And we got married fast and we got engaged fast. But at the end of the day, I know the strength of our relationship, and I know your character, and I know our marriage, and we don't have a prenup. I guess we could always get a postnup, but right now we're just hoping for the best.
Yeah, but postnups, I looked up a postnup, and they're not. I think everyone just assumes, right? When you hear prenup or postnup, you just automatically assume like you're safe, but you're not. You're not. And it's expensive too. You need a good attorney to write it up. Like it's not just like this one sheet of paper and you're good. I don't think. And I mean, fact check this because what the fuck do I know? But.
Yeah. It's funny because you were saying that like no prenup, postnup is ironclad. Did you see that the men of Taylor freaking Paul season are potentially going to sue because of
them being in harm's way from her? She's a dangerous person.
Yeah, they feel that the network has put them in harm's way by casting someone with these charges and these behavioral patterns, and they're threatening to sue. I think there's like a small group of them right now that are looking into. Joe's hiding.
It just makes me so uncomfortable. Like I would never do that.
Why not?
I just think it's, come on. Like, were you really feared for your safety with Taylor Frankie Paul? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, what? What? Like, that's just, I mean, and I guess maybe they do have a case, but like, listen, I mean, yeah, I think that's ridiculous. Like, don't you? Like, I think it's so embarrassing.
I think that if they genuinely felt like she was a danger to them while they were filming, yes, of course you have a case. Do I think if the season aired, they would still be suing for endangerment? No. I think that this lawsuit is a consequence of the fact that their season is not airing. They're not gaining the social traction, the public visibility that they felt that they are owed by the franchise. And now that they're not getting that, they're like, well, what can we get out of it? We can get some cash dollars. Like if they came out and said, no, we felt unsafe, like she was putting us in unsafe positions, we felt uncomfortable, then yes, I think that they absolutely have a right to sue. However, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I'm not a divorce lawyer. I'm not a criminal defense lawyer. I'm not an entertainment lawyer. I'm just a podcast girl. I'm just speculating.
Let's talk about this real quick. And it's kind of on the same subject. Quitting your job to go on. I'm not talking about any other reality show.
Yes.
I'm talking about quitting your job to go on The Bachelor. What is that? Like, do you think people should do that?
Do I think you should quit your job to go on The Bachelor?
Yeah.
I think that if you are already considering leaving that position, sure, maybe that's like an easy out. You already had one foot out the door. I know someone that did that. She left her job while she was on the show, and she was like, you know what, it was already kind of time for me to go that way anyway, so no big deal. I think that if you are like, I left my job for this, like, that's a risk you took.
That's on you, motherfucker. I hate
going on the show is a risk. They don't owe you anything. Yeah. There's no guarantee. You could go home night one.
I hate that, like, I took this risk. I quit my job. Nobody asked you to quit your job. Yeah. The truth is,
you're not owed anything by the franchise because you quit your job.
Yeah, like you quit your job, you're an idiot. Like you shouldn't have quit your job if you needed that job. If you want to, like you said, you want to change careers, you want to quit your job in general, or you want to roll the dice, do it.
Yeah,
but then don't complain
your meal
about
ticket.
it. Yeah.
I mean, it might work out for you. Sure, there's lots of people that find amazing love stories on the show. There's lots of people that get huge followings, and then there's opportunities after that. But that's all a risk. Like, you could go on the show and go home right away. You could look bad. It could work out for you. Like, this show isn't like, oh, I'm going to quit my job, go on, and it's 100% a guarantee that I'm going to then go on to be an influencer. There's no guarantees. It's all a risk.
I don't suggest gambling, but I do think people need a little bit of a gambling experience to understand what risk really is.
Get your ass to Vegas. Yeah. Sit down at that table and roll the dice.
Jesus.
No, I agree. When people come out and they're like, I quit my job for this show, it's like, okay, and that sucks, and I'm sorry, but that's
a decision that you made.
You made that decision solo. Yeah. No one was saying, like, there was no gun to your head. Like, you said, I want to take this opportunity, so I'm going to quit my job.
Well, if I wanted to go, like, if I was casted,
you didn't quit your job, did you?
No, but if I was casted and they were like, you need to quit your job, I would say, well, if I'm going to quit my job, then you're going to write me up a contract that's going to pay me double the money for a year, and then I'll quit my job.
yeah, the Bachelor contracts are pretty tight. I'm just going to read you what TMZ wrote about this contestant lawsuit. TMZ claims that 5 contestants feel like Warner Bros. Discovery, which produced the show, created an unsafe working environment by allowing Taylor Frankie Paul, who has clearly shown flashes of violence in the past, to interact with them in intimate settings. TMZ also notes that some of these men put their lives on hold, quitting their jobs or giving up financial opportunities in exchange for pop culture visibility.
I mean,
the thing is they were not promised pop culture visibility, were they?
No, you're not promised
This
that.
isn't like a, hey, quit your job and we promise you this.
No, all you're promised is a chance at love.
A chance
that
at love.
is it. And if you think you should quit your job to fall in love, then you do it.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like they weren't also looking forward to the visibility. And
No,
I'm okay
fine.
with that.
Yeah.
But you weren't promised that
100%.
by any means. And I just don't know if this lawsuit exists if the show aired. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't exist if the show airs.
I don't think it's like the show's airing and they're like, hey, we all felt really unsafe and we're going to sue this network.
Actually, I will say, even if the show did air, I would say maybe this lawsuit comes to fruition no matter what if the video dropped. So I think there is...
I think the lawsuit is reactionary to what has happened.
Yeah.
That is my statement.
Yeah.
Their lawsuit is reactionary to all of the events that have gone down over the past few weeks within the franchise, not reactionary to their experience filming the show. However, we have not talked to the men. We don't know much about their experience filming the show, if anything. So maybe I will change my mind. Right?
Right.
I always hold the right to change my mind when new information comes to light.
Yeah. Hopefully that's not how you feel when we get divorced.
Do you think that any of these guys, even if the show doesn't air, might end up on Paradise?
What it looks like to me is like I don't think they're gonna have Paradise. Like I don't even know how they would.
I haven't heard anything about it. What month are we in? March? April?
Yeah, March.
Usually Paradise films May, June. Usually casting conversations, I think, start March, April. And we haven't heard anything.
Yeah, but the point of Paradise was you grab the failures from the Bachelor season and the failures from the Bachelorette season. And these are the people that everyone watched on their seasons, and you throw them on a beach. But now, if you don't have a show, then Paradise is Love Island.
Yeah, or Love Overboard.
Love Overboard.
It's fun. I like it. I've never watched Below Deck, but I feel like it's kind of a combo of Below Deck, Love Island, and Bachelor in Paradise.
It's fun. It's a fun show, which I like, because I do feel like all these reality shows that I'm now watching are all just like not fun. What do you think about Gabby?
Oh, I think she's great. I think she's such a good fit. She's very entertaining. She's killing it as the host. I do think it's funny that they constantly have her voice over top, like very Love Island style, except with Love Island, it's like a Irish, Scottish guy.
Yeah.
And with this, it's like Gabby Wendy's voice. I'm always like, where is she?
Gabby needs to like trademark her voice. She's got such a great voice.
She should go into like voice acting. Like I'd love to see her in the next cartoon. What's that, like Zooland one?
Well,
the one with all the animals?
She would be good.
They just came out with number 2.
Yeah.
Get her in number 3.
Like there's certain people that are funny, like no matter what. Like Gabby, when she's delivering some of these lines, I'm just like, you're good. Like you're funny. Like you're funny.
She might be the most successful person from Bachelor Nation in terms of entertainment, other than Jesse Palmer.
Yeah. If you could host one show, what would it be?
That's tough. Maybe Love Island.
Love Island?
Yeah, I think that the hosts have like fun outfits and it's beachy and you're living in Fiji and you're watching like hot people fall in love. And yeah, what about you?
I think Survivor would be fun to host.
Would you ever host like those things that you watch on YouTube where they break cards?
Yeah, I would do a card break for sure. What? I would love that. I would love that. Emma Roberts does card breaks.
I know. Explain what card breaks are in case people don't know, because I didn't know until you became obsessed with it.
So I, unfortunately, over the holiday season, I fell into another little addiction, And,
Shocker. Shocker.
and it was buying baseball cards and having them break them on YouTube, and then I watch, or I buy into live breaks, and I spend some money.
Joe, my sister, and I are at dinner, and he goes, shh. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you on your phone? What are you watching? He goes, my name's getting called. They're breaking my pack of cards. He's like live watching them open these packs of cards that he's purchased.
Yeah, I got some Kate Anderson rookies. If anybody is listening to this, hit me up. But yeah, the way I was like trying to ease the blow with you, I was like, yeah, like Emma Roberts does it.
I know. And you know what? That did help.
It did. I know.
But yeah, no, I'll come in and Joe will be on FaceTime with his buddy Sonny, who's 6, and they'll be showing each other their Pokemon cards, and they'll be like slotting them into their binders and organizing them and searching up how much they're worth. I'm like, you can't have any more vices. You're done. You're maxed out.
I totally forgot about my Sonny shout out.
Well, here it is now. Shout out Sonny.
Santino, I was on the phone with him. I was on the phone with his dad, and Sonny's like, he's 6. 5 or 6.
He's turning
6. He's turning 6. And he's like, hey, Joe, shout me out on your podcast. I was like, Sonny, what do you want me to say? He's like, I don't care. Just shout me out. So this is a shout out, Sonny. This is a shout out for you. Keep buying Pokemon cards.
No, don't. You have enough, and your mom probably agrees with me.
No. His mom is worse than him because she's becoming addicted.
Is she?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
Oh, Joe, we didn't talk about your 40th birthday. And you know what? That's probably by freaking design because you've been dodging the topic of your 40th birthday for weeks now.
Yeah, because you know what? You needed another coffee at the top of this episode because you were crashing hardcore.
I know. I'm not very good with caffeine.
My 40th, I just don't like birthdays. I don't want to celebrate myself.
No, I know. And neither you or I are big birthday people. Joe and I typically just like go for a nice dinner, the two of us, and like that's lovely and we love that. But 40 is a big birthday and I want to get you a nice gift.
I told you what I want.
You told me go to James Pierce and get you some stuff.
Well, if we want to talk about like gifts, we could talk about that. But what I said I want is I want to go to the Cubs game.
Yes, you did tell me. You originally...
The Cubs are in Chicago. They're at home April 12th. We could fly to Chicago. I want to go to the Cubs game for my 40th.
Okay, and I can make that happen. Originally it was the Masters, and that doesn't look promising. So yeah, we'll go to Chicago. We'll go to the Cubs game. I would love to plan maybe just even like a dinner. Something chill.
I'm always fine to have a dinner. Do not throw me a surprise party.
I wasn't going to throw you a surprise party because I know that you wouldn't like that, but I was maybe going to try to organize like drinks with a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't want a surprise party. I don't want a surprise. All I want to do, we can see who wants to go to the Cubs game. I just want to go to the Cubs game, and I'll go out after the Cubs game.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Maybe. I'm going to keep working on it. I'm putting so much pressure on myself for this while simultaneously doing literally nothing. Like I'm paralyzed.
Story of your life.
I'm paralyzed because typically when we book trips, or just even anything, weekends away, like
I'm
nights
the planner.
out, you're the planner, you're the decision maker. And typically I would go to you and be like, hey, so like, what should we do? But I'm also trying to not involve you because it's your birthday and I want to make it special. I feel like I should, as your wife, know exactly what to do independently.
Well, you do.
Yeah, go to the Cubs game.
Yeah, I go to the Cubs game. And like, there are certain brands that I like that you know.
Yep. Luxury brands.
Not luxury. I don't wear luxury clothes. Like certain things, but not all of them.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I will live with the burden of this birthday celebration for the next few weeks, and then I will be free for another 10 years.
All
no,
right.
I shouldn't say burden. I love you. I'm excited to celebrate you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. You should be excited to throw me a birthday. I'm excited when it's your birthday.
Really?
Hmm?
Yeah, you do get excited about my birthday.
I'm a giver.
You're such a giver.
What a guy you married.
Okay, well,
Doesn't-
let's make it so clear. Joe loves getting me
Doesn't want
birthday
half your
gifts
money.
because he has a shopping addiction, and he feels when he buys me a birthday gift, it doesn't count as like him spending money and shopping because it's a gift for me. So he both gets to feel the rush of spending money on something while not living with the guilt of, oh, I shouldn't have spent money on that.
Wow, you do know me. That's so true. That's so true. It's so true. It's my fix. Like I'm like.
You can have a guilt-free rush of instant gratification.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good place to end the podcast.
I think so too.
I need to go reflect.
All right. Well, thanks so much for listening to Not Married to This. You can follow us on Instagram at Not Married to This Pod or on YouTube at Not Married to This, same as TikTok. Thanks so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.